Solid principles in C#.NET. Solid principles are the design principles that enable us to manage most of the software design problems. The principle would provide us with the ways to move from tightly coupled code and little encapsulation to the desired result of loosely coupled and encapsulated real needs of the business properly. In the Solid, S stands for Single Responsibility Principle. O is Open or Close Principle. L means Liskov Substitution Principle. I means Interface Segregation Principle, and D means Dependency Inversion Principle. In this video, we will learn what are solid principles, what is their use, and each principle in detail. So let's get started. What is the use of solid principles? Developer starts building application with good and tidy design using their knowledge and experience. But over time, application might debug bugs. The application design must be altered for every change request or a new feature requested. After some time, we might need to put it in a lot of efforts when for simple tasks, and it might require full working knowledge of the entire system. But we can't blame changes for new features requests. They are part of software development. We can't stop them or refuse them either. So who is the culprit here? Obviously, it is the design of your application. The solid principle help us to achieve reduction in the complexity of the code. It makes it simple. It increases the readability, extendability, and maintenance. It reduces error and implement reusability. It achieves better testability and reduce tight coupling. If we don't use solid principle, we end up with tight and strong coupling of the code with many other modules or applications. It ends up with a code which is not testable. It may end up with the duplication of the code, and it creates problem with the bugs and the fixing another bugs. It ends up with many unknown issues in the application development cycle. So, what is the solution? The solution is you need to select correct architecture like MVC, MVVM, layer, 3-tier applicable to the design. You need to select correct architecture. Then we are going to use design patterns and design principles. If you follow all these three proper suggested architecture, principles and patterns help you to come out of design flaws. Now we are going to learn single responsibility principle. In Solid, S stands for Single Responsibility Principle. It says every software module should have only one reason to change. This means that every class or similar structure in your code should have only one job to do. Everything in that class should be related to a single purpose. Our class should not be like a suit knife, where if one of them need to be changed, then the entire tool need to be altered. It does not means that your class should have only one method or property. It may have many members as long as they relate to a single responsibility. This single responsibility gives us a good way of identifying classes at the same design phase of an application, and it makes you think of all ways a class can change. A good separation of responsibility is done only when we have the full picture of how the application should work. Let's check this with an example. So in the example, we can see a student class is generated. Student class has two methods, get marks and save. Get marks, get the marks from the user, calculates the percentage. Some logic related with marks are done over here. And save method saves the student details in database. So two different methods related with student are performing two different responsibility. They don't belong to same responsibility. So let's make the changes in that. How we can find the solution? We are going to create two classes. First is student class, which has get marks method. This method calculates the marks, and we are creating another class for another responsibility, that is student repository, which saves the data of the student in database with another class. So we have divided the responsibility into two classes, and each class belongs to a single responsibility now. So this is how we have achieved single responsibility principle. In Solid, O stands for open or closed principle. It means a software modular class is open for extension and closed for modification. Here, open for extension means we need to design our module or class in such a way that the new functionality can be added only when new requirements are generated. Closed for modification means we have already developed a class and it has gone throughout unit testing. We should then not alter it until we find bugs. As it says, a class should be open for extension. We can use inheritance to do this. This in the picture we have a house. Instead of making modification, we cannot demolish this house because it is already generated or developed. So we can extend the house. Let's see this practically. I have enum enumerator named as type of exam, which has written and demonstration as its constant values. In the exam class, I have created type of exam property for this enum. Now it has assign method. It checks whether written exam is there. It implements the logic for written exam. If type of exam is demonstration, then it writes the logic for demonstration. Now it works fine. But if I want to take an exam orally, I want an oral exam, then instead of making modification, what we'll do, we will be creating a class name as type of exam instead of enum, which has assign exam. Now written exam inherit type of exam and it writes the code for written exam. If we say demonstration, this class is also going to inherit type of exam. It also overrides the method assign exam and it implements the assign exam logic for demonstration. Now I want to add oral exam, so I am going to create one more class named as oral exam, which inherits type of exam and it also overrides assign exam. So you can see type of exam is available on all three classes. We are not doing any modification, but we are extending type of exam. So here we have open for extension principle, and here we are not making changes in demonstration and writing. So we are not doing any modification, so they are closed for modification. This is how open or closed principle is implemented. In Solid, L stands for Liskov substitution principle. It states that you should be able to use any derived class instead of a parent class and have it behave in the same manner without modification. It ensures that a derived class does not affect the behavior of the parent class. In other words, that derived class must be substituted for its base class. This is just an extension of the open-close principle, and it means that we must ensure that new derived class extend the base class without changing their behavior. For example, a father is a cricketer whereas his son wants to be a singer. So here the son cannot replace his father. even though they belong to the same family hierarchy. We have a class named as student which has a method getProject method, and BCom student is a class, BSc student is another class. Both the classes are inheriting student and they are overriding getProjectDetails method of base class. So they are implementing their own logic over here, but you can see it is also calling base.getProjectDetails. The modification is not done in base class, but it is done in derived class. And as it is calling the base class method, it is mimicking the base class, and that is why it is in Liskov substitution principle. In the solid, I stands for interface segregation principle. Interface segregation principle states that the client should not be forced to implement interfaces that they don't use. Instead of one fat interface, many small interfaces are prepared based on group of methods, each one serving one submodule. We can define it in another way. An interface should not be more closely related to the code that uses it than code they implemented. So, the method on the interfaces are derived by which method the client code need rather than which method the client implement. So client should not be forced to depend upon interfaces that they don't use. Like classes, each interface should have a specific purpose or responsibility, like single responsibility principle. You shouldn't be forced to implement an interface when your object doesn't share that purpose. The larger the interface, the more likely it includes method that not all implement can do. That's the essence of the interface segregation principle. Let's start with an example that breaks the ISP. Over here, we have student interface. This interface has two methods, getProjectDetails and getStudentDetails. Okay, now BCom student class inherits iStudent and it implements the logic for getProjectDetails and also logic for getStudentDetails. Now, we have student BSc student class which is also inheriting iStudent. Now, it is implementing getStudentDetail, but suppose this BSc student don't have any project, then it need not be included in this class because you don't have project details, so we cannot get project details. So this particular method throws an exception. How to handle this? So what we do to handle this, we are going to create two different interfaces which belongs to separate responsibility and a single responsibility. Say first interface is iStudent which has getStudentDetails and another interface is project which has getProjectDetails. Now coming to BSc student, it is inheriting iInterface and BCom student inheriting iStudent and iProject both. As BCom student has project, it can inherit iProject and it is belonging to iStudent as well. But BSc student don't have project, so this class need not inherit the iProject over here, and it will only inherit iStudent and it will implement the logic. So we are dividing interfaces into two different interfaces and we are providing a single responsibility to each interface. This is called interface segregation principle. In the solid, D stands for dependency invergence principle. The dependency inversion principle DIP states that high-level module classes should not depend on low-level modular classes. Both should depend on abstraction. Secondly, abstraction should not depend upon details, and details should depend upon abstraction. High-level module classes implement business rule or logic in a system like application. Low-level modular classes deal with more detailed operation. In other words, they may deal with writing information to database or passing message to the operating system or services. A high-level modular classes that has a dependency on low-level modular classes or some other class and knows a lot about the other classes in the interaction with is said to be tightly coupled. When a class knows explicitly about the design and implementation to another class, it raises the risk that changes to one class will break the other class. So we must keep this high level and low level modular classes loosely coupled as much as we can. To do that, we need to make both of them dependent on abstractions instead of knowing each other. Let's take one example. In the example, I have a class named as email which has send email function. Notification is another class which is creating instance of email and apply the information to the email, implement the logic. Here we can see email is dependent on notification. Same way, suppose I want to send SMS, then how can we solve this? So, solution is instead of creating class, create interface. I'm going to create one iMessage interface which has send email method. Email is a class over here which inherit iMessage, so it can send the mail now. Same way, if I want to send SMS, iMessage will be inherited by SMS, so it can also send message. Email write the logic to send the message with email, and SMS write the logic to send the message with SMS. So here we are creating one interface so that it can be applicable to any of these things. Here we can find interface are not dependent on email or SMS. So high level logic is not dependent on low level logic. This is dependency invergence principle.